Hello, my dear students. Welcome to my science class. Today I am going to take a lesson that is crop production and management. Before I start lesson, let me give you a small introduction. Dear students, you have learnt that all living organisms require food, isn't it? And plants prepare their food themselves, so they are called autotrophs, whereas animals including human cannot prepare their own food, but they depend on plants either directly or indirectly, so they are considered as a heterotrophs. But first of all, why do we have to eat food? Why do we need food? Because to get energy, right, and to do several activities we need food. Since we all need food, how can we provide food to a large number of people in our country? Food has to be produced on a large scale. So in order to provide food for a large population, regular production, proper management and distribution is necessary. So in this lesson, you're going to learn more about crop production and its management. Okay, before that, let me give you a small information about agriculture. So what is agriculture? So in several years ago, the people were wandering from one place to another place in search of food and shelter, and they ate raw fruits and vegetables. Later on, they started hunting for animals for food, and gradually they start to cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. Thus was born agriculture. So, what is agriculture? It is the practice of farming that includes cultivation of soil and growing of crops. So, now what is crop? What do you mean by crop? When plants of the same kind are grown and cultivated at one place on a large scale, it is called a crop. You can give example of paddy also. Here the example is crop of wheat, means that all the plants grown in field are that of a wheat. Okay, you already know that crops are of different types. Example, cereals, they belongs to one group, vegetables and fruits. These can be classified on the basis of the season in which they grow. Okay, um, mainly there are two types. Okay, based on the season, these crops are classified into two. One is kharif crops, other one is rabi crops. Then what is kharif crop? The crops which are sown in the rainy season. Okay, rainy season crops which are grown in a rainy season are called kharif crops, mainly from June to September. Okay, the rainy season in India is generally from June to September, and examples for kharif crops are paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnut, cotton, etc. Usually the crops which grown in rainy season are considered kharif crops. Next one is rabi crops. The crops that grown in winter season are called rabi crops. Generally, it starts from October to March. Okay, now you are able to classify the rabi and kharif crops. So pause this video and identify the rabi crops and kharif crops. Okay, so this is a small activity for you. Just make two column, write rabi and kharif crops. Under rabi, which are the rabi crops, right below the rabi crops, and then kharif crops. Okay, next is the basic practice of crop production. Means the in crop production it involves several steps. Okay, in that first and foremost step is preparation of a soil, like loosening of a soil, and the next is sowing the seeds, and third step is adding manure and fertilizers, and fourth is irrigation, that is supplying of water, and fifth step is protecting from weeds. Okay, that applying some pesticides or weedicides, etc. And last one is harvesting, and the last seventh step is storage of crops. So these are the steps involved in a crop production. Okay, now let's see the first step, that is preparation of a soil. One of the most important tasks in agriculture is to turn the soil and loosen it so that it allows roots to penetrate deep into the soil. It also allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. So this is one of the important step in the agricultural practice, that is loosening and turning of a soil. Okay, it also helps in the growth of earthworms and some other microbes. So what are the advantage of loosening and turning of soil? It allows the roots to penetrate deep into the soil, and also it allows the roots to breathe easily even when they go deep into the soil. And second advantage is it helps in growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. And lastly, this topsoil consists of humus, that means decayed organisms, either plant or dead animals. They are called humus, so that it provides nutrients for the growth of plant. This humus is very rich in nutrients and it is helpful for the growth of a plant. This is about the advantages of loosening and turning of the soil. The process of loosening and turning of the soil is called tilling, and this process is called, entire process is called tilling. Okay, tilling, or it is also called as ploughing. This is done by using a plough. This is the instrument, okay, implement used in agriculture purpose. Ploughs are made of wood or iron. You can see in the picture it is made up of either wood or iron, and if the soil is very dry, it may need watering before ploughing. The ploughed field may have big pieces of soil called crumbs. It is necessary to break these crumbs with the plank. So before sowing the seeds, it is necessary to break soil to the size of grains to get better yield. And this is done with the help of several tools. The main tools used for this purpose are plough, hoe and cultivator. Okay, let us see these implements. First one is plough. It is being used since ancient times for tilling the soil, adding fertilizers to the crop, removing the weeds, scrapping of soil, etc. So these are the advantages of using the plough in the agricultural field. Okay, mainly it is used to loosen the soil in field. Next one is hoe. This, you all are familiar with this instrument, right? You all have seen this instrument. It is a simple tool which is used for removing weeds and for loosening the soil. It has a long rod of wood or iron. A strong, broad and bent plate of iron is fixed to one of its end and works like a blade, and it is pulled by animals. You might have seen this instrument. And the last one is cultivator. Nowadays, ploughing is done by tractor driven cultivator. The use of this cultivator saves labor and time. Okay, this is about today's class. So we have seen the first step included in agricultural practice. So in today's class we have learnt about what is agriculture and the two types of crops. Under agriculture practice, the first step, that is preparation of soil, tilling and agricultural implements. Now it's time to give you a homework. So I have given 4 questions. Find the answers for these and write it in your notes. First one is, what are kharif crops? Example for that. And next question is about rabi crops. And third one is importance of loosening and turning of soil. Last question is, what is tilling? Okay, thank you.